to my old friends and my new friends. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. You're getting ready with me to go to instacare. Well, I can't decide if I'm going to go to instacare or if I'm going to go to the emergency room, but I don't think I should go to the emergency room because I'm like not bleeding. But okay, so I already put on my Wet n Wild matte primer. Oh, I love the way this feels. And then I'm using my Born This Way matte foundation, which I'm literally like, I feel like this is almost one of my favorites. It actually is one of 3 of my favorites. Anyways, yesterday evening, one thing you'll need to know about me is I'm very clumsy. I have fallen a lot. I have fractured my same ankle several times. And yesterday evening I fell while I was out in the yard. I had just watered the lawn and there was a part that was muddy and my shoe like slipped and my ankle went like that. I didn't want to, I was debating back and forth on whether I should have went last night because it was killing me. Like I was on the ground crying. And my family was, at first they were like just kind of staring at me because they didn't know if I was like really hurt, because I didn't start crying like right away. Like I was just kind of like, ugh. Like, you know, when you've hurt yourself so bad that you can almost not make any noise. Like you're just kind of like, oh. And then I just started crying. And so before I started crying, they were just kind of like, get up, like, what are you doing? And then I started like crying. I mean, it wasn't minutes, like it was just like a couple of seconds of silence. And then all of a sudden I was like, ah, you know, and they, you know, were like trying to help me up, and I was just kind of like wanting to just kind of more or less like, don't touch me, like let me get up on my own when I'm ready. I've been through this before, and I want to get up when I'm ready. Fortunately, we're sitting right next to I'm going to use a new concealer. Well, not a new concealer, but a different concealer than the one I normally use. I've been using my Pat McGrath like all the time, and I'm going to use my KKW because I really do like this one too. I've just been like ignoring it, and I really need to stop because I've had this one longer and I don't want it to expire before I finish it. So anyways, I fell. I was debating on whether I should go. It was getting later and later. I think it was probably about 10 o'clock, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go. It's too late. I'm just gonna wrap my ankle, and then depending on how I feel in the morning, I will go then. If I feel fine, then I will stay home and just kind of baby it. I woke up and it is like throbbing. It doesn't hurt to put weight on it, but it hurts to bend it. Like I can't bend it in any direction. Like I can't go like this. I can't go like this. I can't, without it like giving me like shocking pains through my ankle. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and just get it over with. I already know what they're gonna do. They're just, I most likely just like either a very tiny small fracture or I just sprained it. Sorry, I'm looking for my KKW little powder. We are not going to use that. We'll just use the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and we're going to use a Scott Barnes brush. So I've been hearing a lot of stuff about him. Before we go into that, let me finish talking about my clumsiness. Just real quick, this is just gonna be fast. I have been hit by a motorcycle when I was in 6th grade, and I think it just began since then. I was washing dishes, and the scar right here, I don't know how well you can see it or not. it goes like around and then down. I was washing a glass cup and it broke and it sliced my thumb, and literally I could see my tendon. That's how deep I cut it. I dropped a glass on my foot while washing dishes and sliced 4 tendons to 4 of my toes. I have sliced my pinky when I was cutting potatoes because I put the knife down on the cutting board and I went to grab the potatoes, and my pinky, the way I grabbed it, it just sliced right alongside my finger nail. And I remember the instacare by my house, they pretty much basically kind of know me now. But he was just like, you just can't do stuff. Like, you literally need to be wrapped up in bubble wrap and sat on a couch and not allowed to do anything because you get hurt so much. Like, I fall, I don't know what it is. On Thursday, I fell at work. I was wearing little Tom, slide-on shoes, and there was a drop of water on the ground, and of course, I found that drop of water and slipped on it, and fell completely to the floor in front of a salon full of clients. And it was, to be honest, I don't get embarrassed anymore because I'm so used to it. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, even though I was not. It did hurt. I was like just sitting there, just trying to walk it off because I fell and one leg went this way and the other leg went this way. And so the one that went this way is the one that I hurt because I hit my knee. And I hit my knee. The knee that I hit is the knee that when I got hit by the car when I was in 6th grade, I broke my kneecap. So that was the knee that I hit. And ever since that has happened when I was in 6th grade, I've always had problems with that knee. Oh, this is great. Yeah, so stupid. I just bought this Milani blush literally yesterday, and I was going to, and it's broken. I have blue though. I'm not going to take this back. I'd rather eat my own arm off than go into Walmart again. I swear they are like the most annoying people that go there. Not necessarily the employees, but I'm talking about like, yeah, it's just, yeah, on my finger. I don't know why people don't get the stay 6 feet away thing. And then they kind of look at you funny when you look at them like, why are you so close to me? I was in the makeup aisle buying this, and I'm telling you, this girl was so close to me that I like turned around and up because she was like on the heels of my feet. That's how close she was. And she was talking to her boyfriend or somebody about what she needed from inside there, and that it was makeup wipes. And he's like, okay, I'll wait for you over here. And I turned around and I looked at her like, can you back the F up? Like, literally, like, I can smell your breath. You're that close to me. And she didn't give a shit. She just stayed right behind me like, whatever. And was wearing a mask, which I thought was very weird because I didn't think anywhere was like allowing that. My throat is getting dry. Drinking coffee and it looks like there's a freaking hair on my lid. Ew. So anyways, I went and bought this Milani blush, and I know that a lot of people are like obsessed with Luminoso. And although I think it's pretty, I don't think it's like, I'm like, it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, I have prettier blushes, And, but I saw a picture of this one and I was like, dude, this one is the one to me that calls my attention more than Luminoso. And I don't know if it's because of my skin tone. I feel like Luminoso's too pink, like just so pink. And this one is Petal Primavera. Oh my gosh, it is so stinking pretty. And it was like $6. I don't know if Walmart's having a sale or if that's how much Milani blushes are, because I honestly can't remember. I've purchased. I'm having some anxiety right now, so I am having to take a lot of deep breaths. Sorry, guys. I have purchased Luminoso, but it was so long ago that I don't remember like how much it cost. But I do remember that it wasn't like really expensive. Okay. All right, I'm going to put on some highlighter. And because I put everything away, I cannot find any of my highlighters. Like, everything is just like in such weird places. Oh, I have that KKW highlighter I can use. I don't know why I put mirrors on these. They're like so stinking little. Yeah, and in other news, I'm trying to talk my family, which I mean, most of them are okay with it. We are huge dog people. I fostered dogs for about, well, I can't say me and my children, my 2 daughters, we fostered dogs for about 5 years, and we loved it. We had to stop because we became the worst foster failures. And if you have ever fostered a dog, you know what that means. You end up keeping them all. And it was getting to that point where we were having the hardest time and the worst struggle letting any of them get adopted. And we ended up at one point trying to keep 7 dogs, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, when there's more dogs in your home than people, you need to like reevaluate your whole life. Oh, I guess I should tell you what I'm using. It's the new palette by Pure. It's called the Defense Anti-Pollution Eyeshadow Palette. Isn't that cool? That's smoke. For a second, I was like, what did I get on it? I got it dirty. And you can only see it in certain directions. That's awesome. So yes, I had said I would never give Pure another one of my, like, another penny. I lied. That's all I can say. I lied. I used the palette that I got from Raw Beauty Christie, and I loved it so much, even though I know that's not their typical formulation. I loved it so much that I wanted to try other palettes of theirs, and I fell in love with their formula. I think it's really, really good. Very, very smooth. And although I think that they did mess up, I'm also not going to cancel them for that. One thing that annoyed me though was that they didn't tell anybody they were going to be in Ulta. But anyways, so it's beautiful. This is the inside. I love it. I'm going in with this color here. I don't know what else I'm going to do, but yeah. It's a beautiful palette. I haven't swatched anything. So, yeah. Oh, they're so stinking creamy, you guys. Like, so, and they're pretty. Let's see what these ones look like. Oof. Those are the shiny ones. Oh, that turned out pretty. I know you can probably barely see it, but that shimmer, I ended up using this one here, which I don't see names on them, and I threw the box away. But it's hard to foster anyway. It's hard to say goodbye to a dog that you've had for months. I remember there was one that was with me for so long because he was actually from a puppy mill, and we had a kind of a relationship with the puppy mill where they would give us the dogs that they found weren't sellable, because it was either that or they would kill them. So as long as we didn't ask any questions, as long as we didn't ask any where they were located or anything, they would meet us in, you know, different locations and give us these dogs. Well, this one was a purebred, gorgeous, pure snow white schnauzer. We named him, was Max. And they were going to put him down, and their way of putting them down is taking them to a backyard and putting them down. But they called me and asked me if I would go get him, and I was like, sure. I mean, it was far from where I was. It was probably about like 2.5, 3 hours. And if you know, Utah doesn't have traffic, so 2.5, 3 hours is literally a 2.5, 3 hour drive, not stuck in anything. It's just far. I went and got him, and he was just gorgeous, but he had his skull, he was born with just his skull didn't close, so all the way. And so, like a baby that has a soft spot, it ends up closing. Well, his didn't, and he had an opening that was like right here. You couldn't see it, like with your naked eye. By looking at him, all that it looked like right here was kind of a little bit blue, but up here, there was no protection for his skull. So he was with me for a really long time because of the fact that we had to make sure that whoever adopted him, first of all, they couldn't have children because they couldn't be rough with him. A lot of people are like, oh no, yeah, we don't have any kids, we don't plan on having any kids, and then they're like 25, and you're like, you don't know that. Like, you're a 25-year-old married couple, and you're saying you don't want kids right now, but you may have some in the future, and this dog cannot be around a child that may be too rough with him and cause him to die, because if he would have gotten any kind of a hit to the head, it would have killed him. So I had him almost the entire time I was fostering. So he was probably the hardest one to give up, and he was the one that I almost couldn't give up. The reason why I did was because we found a really, really great family for him. It was a couple that was in their late 50s. Their kids were already out of the house, and they wouldn't, they were going to be very protective of him. They were like, we have grandkids, but we'll make sure that our grandkids don't play with him or don't touch him. Or if they do, they're very gentle. And I believed everything they said, and he was going to get the kind of attention that I felt he deserved, and the kind of attention that I couldn't give him because I had so many dogs. I don't even know how we got onto this freaking subject. I'm so random. I don't know what's wrong with me. First we were talking about me being clumsy and falling, and then off to fostering. Oh, I think I was getting ready to talk to you guys about, because we have a pit bull now. So a lot of the dogs that we had back then have passed away. Only one of them has not, and it's just from old age. We just had our dogs for so long, they were just old. So out of the 4 dogs that we had back then, we only have 1 of those. And we have 3 dogs. We have a Schnauzer that is my middle daughter's dog, and we have a Chihuahua, and we have a Pit Bull. And our Pit Bull just started her period. And so we need to get her fixed. And I think that that's what caught me onto this subject. I'm trying the new Pat McGrath mascara. I think I like it. It's a dry formula. This is dry. But I think that the reason why I got into the fostering subject is because like I'm really, really against breeding dogs, because there are so many homeless pets. And so my kids are totally on board, but my husband wants her to have 1 set of puppies, because he wants one, like, to keep. And he's like, and I know, some good families, they'll take the other ones and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, she's just such a beautiful dog. And she's gorgeous. She's a very, very light tan. She has blue eyes. And, she's a gorgeous dog. But I don't want to do that. There's too many dogs that are homeless, period. But there's way too many homeless people in this world. And in a lot of places, they're not even allowed. And so it's hard to give people a pit bull, or sell them a pit bull, or adopt them a pit bull, because if they don't own their home, they could move into a place that doesn't allow that. They'll like allow dogs, but pit bulls are a lot of times on the list of animals that are not welcome. And so people are not all equal, and some will say, okay, well, this is our only option, so we have to get rid of him or her, whatever the dog is. And it would kill me to know that we contributed to any more homeless pets. I like this, but I think because it's dry, it's getting clumpy quick. I usually do about 3 coats, and this is getting just a little clumpier than I like my mascaras to be. So right now, the winner of all my mascaras right now is Marc Jacobs, which I'm like, where the heck did it go? I am loving, 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 loving this palette. I think it's beautiful. I can't remember how much it was. I'll have to look really quick and let you guys know. The only thing is I wish that the shimmery shades in there, if there was just one lighter one. Like a nice light shimmery shade. That would have been perfect. I wasn't going to put lashes on today because I really don't feel like it, but I don't know. I love lashes. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to. I just wasted a pair. My eyelashes need a break anyways. But that means I need another coat of mascara. So, yeah, I'm going to go to Instacare. I already know what they're going to do because I've been here before. They're going to give me an x-ray, and then they'll probably give me a boot. Because it doesn't hurt to put pressure, but it hurts when I bend it. So they need me to be able to keep it from being bent. And the only thing that keeps you from bending your foot is a boot. This mascara, I mean, obviously they're never gonna be as, no mascara is ever gonna make your eyelashes look as good as falsies. But if you can find one that makes them look at least fuller, you know, a little bit of length, then I'm happy. This is my Instacare slash, still don't know if I'm going to the emergency room, but I think it's gonna be Instacare makeup look. Thanks for getting ready with me to go and get my ankle looked at. I hope you guys have an amazing week, an amazing upcoming week, a fantastic Sunday, and a marvelous rest of your August. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.